Good morning, everybody. It is Happy Monday. In the red mixer today, I'm doing a slow churn butter because I need to get that done today. I do a slow churn because the faster the mixer goes, even with the cover on it, stuff splatters, and I just ain't feeling that. So I'd rather do a slower churn and wait. This is heating up water for my coffee. I'm getting ready to mill some grain because that's the new thing that I'm doing. Today I'll be making some bread and probably some waffles and things like that so that the rest of the week I can put them in the freezer and my daughter can feed them to the wet boy that lives here. Uh, but yeah, that's where we're at for now, and hopefully I'll remember to pick the camera back up and show you the rest of everything. Gonna talk just a minute. Y'all know that I do pour over. I have a stainless steel, and I have these are the ones that I started with. They're just plastic. I can't remember the name of them. I got them on Amazon. The stainless steel one is being cleaned. So this one actually, to be honest, has a bigger spout, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it. So on days like today when hold on, we gotta stop. Yeah, I made a mess. Yeah, I love when that happens. My battery's going low, which I know. But normally this will pour a little bit quicker than the stainless steel one. So on days like today, whenever I'm really trying to get stuff done, we are retiring the old coffee maker, replacing it with one that's just like it. My daughter bought it about a year ago for my husband, and we got a little more than a year use out of the old one. But yeah, that's how I do my coffee. I wanted to talk to you too. I don't know if you've seen my sister-in-law got all of us these little Contigo mugs with the lid, and I absolutely love it. I have my other tumblers and stuff that I use for coffee when I'm actually going to be, need more than this much coffee. But even if I lose this, my coffee doesn't get cold as quick. So, really, really, really just am thankful for that. Shout out to my sister-in-law. Don't think that she will ever see this video, but yeah, I think they're available at Walmart. We have more Contigo products that my husband's had Contigo taller mugs for, my gosh, Ian was a baby, and he had to have matching ones like Papa, so, it's been several years, well, at least 6, because my dad was still living. What you hear in the back still is the red mixer, doing a slow churn on the butter. It will take it longer, but I would rather it take longer than me have to clean the cabinets and the walls and everything else numerous times to get all of the splatter off. Everything already needs cleaned badly, so I'm not adding to that. Anyway, today we are having a peppermint mocha flavored coffee mate, or coffee creamer. Is what it is. I normally will do half and half, or something like or butter coffee or something like that. I've been on a coffee creamer kick, so we're going with it. Okay, now today I'm using the silver. Let me make a little room so I can get in here a little closer. I don't have a big kitchen, and it's full. I'm just going to tell you, if you followed my videos for any time, you already know. Anyway, you still hear the red mixer doing the slow churn with the butter. I'm going to use a silver mixer to mill grain today. I normally use the blue one, but I also use it to knead dough. And today I'm just going to give it a break because I haven't used this mixer in a while. Yes, I own 3 KitchenAid mixers. I use them. So there's that. I'm going to mill this, but I already have some milled because the first time that I milled too much. And I'm going to use this up before I mill this. I mean, before, I'm going to use, let's try this again and say words. I'm going to use this, I'm going to go ahead and mill fresh, but I'm going to make the first part of my bread with what I've got left over that needs used up. Now, whenever I say this, please understand, don't make the mistake that I did. Because once you mill your wheat berries, I'm using a hard white wheat berry right now that came from Palouse. That may change as who I get it from may change. I'm currently getting it off Amazon, off their Amazon store. So far, I'm pretty satisfied with it. But this is a new learning thing for me, so as I learn more, there may be other things that I may learn, better places to get stuff, source stuff, all that neat stuff. Azure Standard is highly recommended. I don't know if there's a drop around me. We'll look into that because there's other stuff. Anyway, this is a KitchenAid grinder. I like it quite well. In the near future, I'm going to get an actual grain mill for the simple reason of, just like with the soft churn on the butter, whenever I do this, flour is everywhere. It just is. If you have a gluten allergy and you go someplace that serves a gluten-free menu, but they also serve food that has gluten in it, if they don't shut down the entire factory and sanitize everything before they make your gluten-free food, your food is not gluten-free. Because flour poofs, and whenever it poofs, your gluten is all in the air. Anyway, so I'm going to load this. I don't have room for a tripod or anything in here, so I'm going to load it and then show you, and I'm going to go check on the cat because it sounds like he's not having a good morning. See you in just a minute. Okay, I forgot to show you. See this? This is for your gauge for how you want your grain milled. You can go anywhere from coarse to a fine mill. I'm going with a fine mill. The last time I did not, and I had to re-mill it because it didn't quite, it worked, but it wasn't quite as fine as I wanted it. So this time we're doing it differently. So I'm going to turn this on because I've loaded the hopper. I grabbed apparently the wrong measuring cup. We did this, Ian and I did this last time together, and I didn't spill, but I just spilled wheat berries everywhere. But anyway, much like the mixer, it's going to be a slow thing, just to take it easy on the engine, and because it still gets it done. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that the tilt head, is locked in place. I have a bad habit of forgetting that because this one is not a tilt head, and once I roll the bowl up, we're good. So I have had instances where we've had a little floating mixer. Anyway, so we're going to turn this on so you can see kind of what it does. Now, if I turned it up faster, obviously it's going to be real faster. I don't really want it to do that. I don't want it to really heat up the flour, with this it really doesn't. But I can do other things while this is going on. Okay, as you can see, this is the fine mill that's coming out of this grinder. Now you can see this is the brand. So whenever it goes through the sifter, that's going to sift out. Yes, I have bought an electric sifter because my old lady hands, that stuff hurts, okay? In this mixer, I have started what will be the dough for the first part of bread. Now, when I bake bread, I bake it not only for my family, but I kind of try to bless somebody with it as well. By the time we get to the actual baking of the bread, all of this counter and stuff will be cleaned off, and it won't look as jumbled up and crazy as it does at the moment. And yes, let's address this real quick. When we first moved into this house, I wanted a red kitchen. I wanted a coffee-themed kitchen. I found these little latte espresso coffee outlet covers and light switch covers, and I loved them. Well, when I painted my kitchen red, it made it even smaller feeling, and it was just not, it just wasn't a thing for me. So we went with yellow, and then when we painted the yellow, the reason why, I can't remember what the technique is called. You use a sponge and dab the other colors on the wall. It's an older technique. The texture of the wall is uneven, so when we went back over with the yellow, I did some of it, and then I could only do a portion at a time because old and crippled, you know. Anyway, so after my dad died, while I was down helping my mom, my husband finished it for me, and so far so good. At some point I'm going to take it to a more neutral color, because this is just kind of, it's done its job. But if I go with a more neutral, like a tan color or something like that, then these won't stick out as much. And, you know, it just will be what it will be. It might be a summer project for this year. I don't know. Because there's a lot of stuff that we're going to have to take down, move out, all that neat stuff to do at this time. This is where my freezer sits now, is actually where my refrigerator was when we bought the house. So my refrigerator was moved over to there, and my freezer is here. And when I tell you that guys, it's not, I use everything that I have in my kitchen, and as you know, doing this purge thing, I have gotten rid of stuff, and I continue to get rid of stuff that I don't use or don't need, or if it just doesn't serve a purpose or make me happy anymore, then it's going. And so, you know, that's kind of where that is. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing. Now, this part of how I do my bread, you may do yours differently. This is what I just kind of stumbled on accidentally, because I went to double a recipe and didn't double it completely. But with this milled flour that I'm learning to use, it worked better. So what I'm going to do, I have 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. On this learning journey, I'm going to be using different types of yeast that I've never used before to learn. Learning these ancient grains is, for me, it's a biblical connection, as well as a good one. It tastes really super good. The first loaf that I baked, we stood here and I didn't even let it cool, because my husband wanted a sandwich for dinner. It didn't cool completely. We cut the bread and we were just eating the bread, and almost the entire loaf was gone, just because we were eating the bread and going nom 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 nom. Anywho, we're going to, there's 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put a cup of warm water, not hot. You do not want hot water in your yeast. It will kill your yeast. We're just proofing it, and I'm putting a cup in there for a reason. This type milled flour uses a little bit more moisture, so there you go. Now, I'm going to take a cup. This has been through the sifter. I'm going to take a cup. And again, I know there's a lot, that my counter's cluttered. I'm well aware of it. I'm the one working in it, okay? Also doing this one-handed, so, you know, bear with me. I'm going to put that cup in there. Hang on, I forgot distracted this morning. It ain't even funny. Say a little prayer for EJ. He's not well. If you did not, I put it on my community tab, the link to Rad Tidings, which was their Christmas musical. I am proud to attend a church that is so full of teaching our children. We're going to add some sugar to this to feed this yeast a little bit. And I got to quit talking and do this. I'm going to do about 4 tablespoons. I may add a little bit more before I actually make it into bread. I don't know. This part is kind of like I said, I kind of stumbled on it by accident, and it worked really. We made pizza crust, and they worked really good, so we're just kind of going with it. But I'm gonna turn this on. We might need to plug it up. Hold up. That's to the hand mixer. I thought I had the big mixer plugged up, but apparently I don't. Yes, KitchenAid hand mixer. Yes, I use it. KitchenAid, what are they called? Stick blenders. Yes, I use it a lot. It will be used today. Hold on, I gotta have two hands because I can't find the cord. Oh, there it is. I'm so goofy today. I really, apparently just should have stayed in bed. Okay. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. This, I can't remember what it's called. Bowl lift, I think. This was the first KitchenAid that I got. That I really used. I had one that was my mother's that was a tilt head, but I didn't really use it as much as I used this one. So whenever I use my tilt heads, I have to remember, oh yeah, you gotta remember to lock the tilt in. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure this is turned off, and then we're gonna plug it in. And we're going to just let that mix, and this is a cup of the sifted milled flour, 2 tablespoons of yeast, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and a cup of warm water. Again, if this is not how you do your bread, that's fine. Drop it down below how you do yours, because I'm all for tips and recipes and all that good stuff. I'm learning how to mill my own flour and my own grains. So, yeah, we'll take any tips. Okay. And the red mixer, still doing its little slow churn. Still not throwing it all over my cabinets. I know some people will put a towel or something all over it. You still got a dunked up towel to deal with. I don't want to, okay? However you want to do it is fine with me. This is how I choose to do it. It can be done in 5 minutes, but if I do it in 5 minutes and it slings butter, milk, and stuff everywhere, and I have to spend 5 hours cleaning it up, no, that's not working for me. Okay, so, you know the noise that you hear in the background, there's a little Caleb in the background too, but I don't think it's loud enough to where you hear it over the blender. I turned this one off just simply because there's only so loud I can talk. And this one, as you can see, we have the whisk. Now, some people may go straight to the dough hook. I don't do that. I use the whisk first because that's just how I like to do it. If you do it a different way, cool. No big deal. Now, what I'm gonna do is turn this on. I popped it down so you could see the bubbly yeast. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to let that whisk around just a little bit. I discovered the other day that the more that you kind of take your time with this, the better it turns out. So I'm going to get stop. Okay. I got about 4 tablespoons of pink Himalayan salt in here. Again, just kind of, this has become just what works for me. I'm going to put another cup of the milled flour in. We're going to let this mix a little bit with the whisk. And we'll go from there. And I'm going to turn on the other mixture that's still milling the grain. Let's turn it back on so that it can finish with what's in the hopper. I turned it off so you can hear me better. And so we can have a little break because, it is working hard, even though it's a KitchenAid, and I love the sounds of this is my happy place. This is therapeutic and soothing for me. So, yeah. Okay, after I added that last cup of grain, flour, wheat, I did add a little bit more water because it was getting too thick too quick. I added about a cup of water. I'm going to take the wire whisk off now. Don't have enough hands, sorry. Going to put I think it's called a flat paddle. I love this thing. This is kind of my step before the dough hook. Other people may do it. I do. I'm going to get one for the smaller mixers because I just think it's the neatest little thing. I'm actually thinking about trying it with the butter instead of just the whisk to see how that works. But for now, we're going to flip this back up and let that start doing its thing. I'm going to add another cup, and we're just going to, keep going. We have added cup 4. I'm probably going to add a little bit more because I want to cut some regular store-bought flour into this, and I think it makes it a little bit more. This is cup 4. I'll probably do 2 cups of regular, kind of more so I'm kind of evening it up than anything. Did switch to the dough hook. I forgot to put butter in earlier, so we did soften some butter. This is the butter that I made, so we're going to use it in our bread. So, a little bit of commercial flour. I use King Arthur or White Lily. Those are my 2 brands that I prefer. If you use another brand, great. Okay, they're just my personal preference. I like them. I've used those 2 flours for years and years. I can't remember the other brand that I used to use, but I started using King Arthur probably 10 years ago, and I just stick with that or White Lily. Now, I'm going to take this off the dough hook. Of course, I can't do it with one hand, so, but I'm going to take this and put it into, I have a greased bowl that is not cooperating. It kind of tends to want to pull, but we'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so I have it in the bowl. I have a warm cloth. What I'm going to do, because I can't, obviously it's a plastic bowl, I do proof my bread either in the oven, sometimes I proof it in the Omni, but the Omni is on top of the microwave and there's no plug-in accessible to it while the mixers are out. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, I have about 2 cups of water in the microwave. Yes, there's stuff down here. It just is what it is. We're working on it. Gonna heat it for about a minute. And yes, this microwave is, oh my gosh, probably 31 years old. It still works. I'm still using it. I'm gonna do this real quick. I took the water out after I heated it for about a minute. I put the bowl that has the dough in it covered with a warm, like cheesecloth, well, it's not cheesecloth, it's like a flour sackcloth. I can't think of words today. But we're going to let that rest for a while, and we're going to do some cleanup while that's doing it. Okay, my little ADHD brain got this bright idea while the dough was rising for the bread to just take the dog for a walk. So we just kind of left the butter mixer going, and we took a short walk with the dog. So yeah, now we have butter. I've already poured off most of the buttermilk. I'm just kind of letting it drain for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to take it off with the whisk, which is oh so much fun because I just love getting my hands all in it. And then I'll press it out into the molds. I used to just put it in bowls, but we didn't use that as much as I use sticks. So I bought stick molds from Amazon, and yeah, I like them much better. But you can see it's still dripping some buttermilk, so I'm going to let it do that, and then I'm going to rinse it. To just pretty much put it in a mesh colander, run cold water over it, kind of mix it around, and then we'll, let it do its thing. Let's start dinner. Pintos in the Instapot. It's been about 2 hours. We're gonna punch this down and put it into pans and let it rise again. Okay, so these are in my Pullman pans. It's a lot quieter now. The butter's done. The milling is done. Yeah, we're getting dinner is started in the Instapot. I'm going to put these in the oven with the oven light on and wait for them to rise. I'm going to wait about an hour and put the lid on the Pullman pans and let them finish rising. Pretty sure the first time around I forgot to tell to say that I add eggs. Usually between 3 and 5. It depends on how much mix I mix it. For the 2 loaves it's 5. Yeah, and eggs. Been about an hour and a half. They've risen pretty well. I'm not going to put the lids on them because it'll smush them down and they don't have time to rise back up. We're going to preheat the oven, toss them in there 350 for about 35 to 40 minutes, and we're done. And the big blue one is clean and ready to go back in its spot till next week. So we ended today with 4 loaves of bread, batch of biscuits and sausage. Made sausage biscuits for my husband to have for breakfast. Cornbread, pinto beans for dinner, and he will take that for lunch tomorrow. And these are my kitty Skechers Bob's slippers that my feet are fixing to go into. I'm going to put all this together, upload it. I hope you enjoy it. Y'all have a wonderful day. Remember, I'm the mayor's daughter. I'll see you in the next one. See you. Bye.